The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council stretched across 3 kilometers, its crystalline dome revealing the swirling nebula beyond. Inside, representatives from 200 species sat in their designated sections, each adapted to their unique atmospheric needs. At the center, the council's speaker, a tall being called Vex from the Krull Empire, raised his forearms for silence. The primitive species from Sector 7 Delta has refused our ultimatum, Vex announced, his voice echoing through universal translators. These humans have rejected membership in our council. They dare to claim independence. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. No species had ever refused the council's generous offer of protection that came with complete surrender of military assets and acceptance of council law. Commander Rex of the Krull military forces stood up, his scales shifting from blue to red with anger. These humans possess only one inhabited star system. They have basic space travel, primitive nuclear weapons, and a population of merely 10 billion. I request permission to bring them to heel. The council voted swiftly. The decision was unanimous. Humanity would learn the price of defiance. 3 days later, the Krull Armada appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. 500 warships, each one capable of destroying a moon, moved in perfect formation toward the blue planet. Commander Rex stood on the bridge of his flagship, studying the tactical display. "Sir, we're detecting human vessels," his lieutenant reported. 30 ships, crude design, moving to intercept. Rex laughed, a harsh sound like grinding metal. 30? Against 500? Begin the attack. Make it quick. The first Krull ship fired its main cannon, a beam of pure energy that could split asteroids. It struck the lead human vessel directly. Rex waited for the explosion, for the scattered debris that would mark humanity's first loss. Instead, something impossible happened. The human ship absorbed the energy blast. Its hull glowed briefly, then returned to normal. The ship continued. Forward, unharmed. What? Rex leaned forward. Fire again. All ships, concentrate fire. Hundreds of energy beams converged on the small human fleet. The space around them turned white with unleashed power. When the light faded, all 30 human ships remained intact, now glowing with a strange golden aura. Then the humans returned. Fired out from each human vessel, a single projectile launched simple metal rods, no bigger than a transport shuttle. They moved at impossible speeds, faster than any known weapon. The first rod struck a Krull battleship, passed through its shields like they didn't exist, and punched straight through the hull. The massive warship crumpled like paper, then exploded. Within 60 seconds, 30 Krull ships were gone. Retreat! Rex screamed, his scales now white with fear. All ships retreat immediately. But the humans weren't finished. Their ships suddenly accelerated, moving at speeds that defied physics. They danced between the Krull vessels, firing those simple, devastating projectiles. Each shot was precise, surgical, designed to disable rather than destroy. Back in the council hall, emergency transmissions flooded in. The mighty Krull Armada, the council's iron fist, was being systematically dismantled by 30 primitive ships. How? Vex demanded, watching the tactical feeds in horror. Their technology was assessed as primitive. An aide rushed forward with a data pad. "Sir, we've discovered something. The humans, they've been hiding their true capabilities. These aren't their military ships." "What do you mean?" "These are their mining vessels, sir. Modified mining ships. Their actual military hasn't even deployed yet." The council fell silent. On the main screen, they watched the last of the Krull Armada limp away from Earth's system, half their fleet destroyed or disabled by what humans considered industrial. Equipment. A transmission came through from Earth. A human admiral appeared on screen, an older woman with gray hair and calm eyes. She spoke clearly and simply. "Galactic Council, this is Admiral White of Earth the Defense Command. We hope this demonstration has clarified our position. Humanity wishes to be left alone. We have no interest in your politics, your wars, or your protection. Any further aggression will be met with our actual military response. You've seen what our miners can do. Do you really want to see what our soldiers are capable of?" The transmission ended. The council stared at the blank screen in complete disbelief. Asterisk. The council chamber buzzed with activity 48 hours after the Crawl defeat. Representatives huddled in groups, whispering theories and fears. Speaker Vex called for order, his voice strained with exhaustion. "We must understand what we're dealing with," Vex announced. "I've authorized a covert investigation of human capabilities. Our best spy probes were sent to Earth's system 6 hours ago." The main screen flickered to life, showing feed from the lead probe as it approached Earth. The invisible device, no bigger than a grain of sand, had never been detected by any species. It slipped past Jupiter, past Mars, heading toward the blue planet. Suddenly, the feed cut to static. What happened? Vex demanded. "Probe destroyed, sir," the technician replied, his tentacles trembling. "The humans ... they saw it. Impossible. Those probes are..." "All probes destroyed," the technician interrupted. "Every single one. The humans sent us a message." On screen appeared a simple text transmission. "We can see you. Stop." The council fell silent. Then, without warning, the main doors opened. A human walked in, a middle-aged man in a simple gray suit. He strolled casually toward the center platform, ignoring the hundreds of weapons suddenly pointed at him. "Hello," the man said cheerfully. "I'm Ambassador Tom. Sorry for dropping in uninvited, but you guys kept sending those tiny cameras to our house. We figured it was time to talk face to face." "How did you get here?" Vex sputtered. "Our security has been compromised for about 20 years, Tom said, pulling out a small device. "We've been listening to your transmissions, studying your technology, learning your languages. Did you really think a species that went from horses to space travel in less than 200 years wouldn't be curious about the galaxy?" The council members shifted uncomfortably. Tom continued, his voice friendly but firm. "Let me tell you what your investigation would have found. Humanity discovered your council's existence 50 years ago. We listened to your communications, analyzed your weapons, studied your tactics. Every energy weapon you use, we developed counters. Every shield frequency, we can bypass it. Every strategy in your military handbooks, our children study them in school as examples of what not to do." Commander Rex, still bearing scars from his defeat, stood up angrily. "You lie. No species advances that quickly." Tom smiled and pulled out a small marble. He tossed it into the air, where it floated and began projecting holographic displays. "This is human history, Commander. We call it our technology tree." The display showed humanity's progression stone tools to nuclear weapons in 12,000 years. Nuclear weapons to quantum computers in 50 years. First spaceflight to faster-than-light travel in less than a century. "Impossible," someone whispered. "For you, maybe," Tom said. "But humans are different. We evolved on a death world. Everything on our planet tried to kill us: predators, diseases, weather, even other humans. We didn't become the dominant species by being strongest. We survived by being the most adaptable, the most creative, the most paranoid." He gestured to the display, now showing military simulations. "War isn't just violence for us. It's mathematics. It's psychology. It's economics. It's art. We have a saying, if you want peace, prepare for war." So we prepared. For everything. The display showed human contingency plans, thousands of them. invasion scenarios for every council species, counter strategies for technologies that didn't even exist yet, weapon designs that violated 3 laws of physics. "We have a plan to defeat every single one of you," Tom said calmly. "Not because we want to fight, but because being ready means we don't have to." The Crawl learned this the hard way. A representative from the Zoran Empire stood up, his 6 eyes narrowing. "You're bluffing. 30 mining ships don't make you powerful." Tom laughed. "Mining ships? Oh, you misunderstood. Those weren't our mining ships. Those were training vessels. Our actual mining fleet is about 3,000 ships, currently harvesting asteroids in 12 different systems." "Our military?" "Well, let's just say we follow another human saying, 'Walk softly and carry a big stick.'" He tapped the marble, and it showed a brief glimpse of something that made the entire council gasp. Thousands of human ships, hidden in dark space between stars, each one bristling with weapons that looked nothing like anything the council had ever seen. "We didn't come to the stars to conquer," Tom said, retrieving his marble. "We came to explore, to learn, to grow. But if you force our hand, you'll discover why humans are the only species on Earth that domesticated itself. We had to. We were too dangerous otherwise." Tom walked toward the exit, then paused. "Stay away from Earth. It's a simple request. Don't make us ask twice." 2 weeks passed after Ambassador Tom's visit. The Council had issued a decree no contact with humanity. Most species obeyed. The Zorans did not. Lord Zak of the Zoran Empire stood before his war council, his 6 arms gesturing wildly. Crawl are cowards. They fled from primitive projectile weapons. The humans are bluffing, using fear as their shield. I will prove it. The Zorans were warriors, bred for combat over millions of years. Their empire spanned 50 systems, their military technology second only to the Crawl. Lord Zak assembled his greatest fleet, 1,000 warships, each crewed by elite soldiers who had never known defeat. "We attack at dawn," Zak declared. "Not Earth itself, that would unite the Council against us. We target their mining operation in the Proxima system. When we destroy their workers, humanity will realize their place." The Zoran fleet emerged from hyperspace at Proxima Centauri, weapons charging. They expected to find defenseless mining vessels. Instead, 5 human ships waited for them, painted matte black with no visible weapons. 5 ships? Zak laughed from his command throne. "They insult us. All vessels, attack formation. Destroy them." The 1,000 Zoran ships spread out in their famous sphere formation, completely surrounding the 5 human vessels. It was a tactic that had conquered worlds. No escape, no blind spots, only death. "Fire," Zak commanded. 1,000 energy beams converged on the human ships. The space itself seemed to scream from the concentrated firepower. When the barrage ended, the 5 human ships remained, unchanged, unmoved. Then the humans responded. Lead human ship broadcast a single message. Military Protocol 7. Authorized. Something impossible happened. Space itself began to bend around the human vessels, not the ship space. Reality twisted, forming 5 perfect spheres of absolute darkness around the human fleet. "What are they doing?" Zak's science officer screamed, his instruments going mad. "At gravitational readings. This can't be real." The spheres expanded slowly, deliberately. When the edge of one touched a Zoran destroyer, the massive warship simply compressed. 300 meters of advanced technology and 500 crew members crushed into a ball the size of a marble. In less than a second, "Retreat," Zak screamed. All ships. Too late. The 5 spheres expanded faster now, each one reaching out like a hungry void. Every ship they touched collapsed into nothing. The Zorans fired everything: missiles, energy beams, even ramming attempts. Nothing affected the advancing darkness. The mighty sphere formation that had conquered worlds became a trap. The Zoran ships crashed into each other, trying to escape, their engines unable to overcome the gravitational pull. In 10 minutes, 800 ships were gone, not destroyed, not damaged, simply erased from existence. "Please," Zach transmitted desperately. "We surrender. Stop this." The spheres stopped, expanding. The 5 human ships emerged from their darkness shields, unharmed. A transmission came through video this time. A young human captain appeared, looking almost bored. "This is Captain Lee of the Earth Defense Fleet. Your surrender is accepted. Your remaining ships will return to Zoran space immediately. Any Zoran vessel found outside your borders will be considered hostile." You're monsters," Zach whispered. Captain Lee shook his head. "No, Lord Zach, we're teachers, and class is in session." The screen changed, showing a presentation like something from a school classroom. Today's lesson: gravity manipulation. You see, while you were perfecting energy weapons for 1,000,000 years, humans spent 50 years asking, what if we could control fundamental forces? Gravity isn't just a force, it's the fabric of spacetime itself. The presentation showed the weapon's basic concept, creating localized singularities that consumed everything within range. It was elegant, simple, and utterly terrifying. "This is first-generation technology," Lee continued. "We have better things now. Things that make black holes look friendly. Want to see?" "No," Zach shouted. "We'll leave. We'll never return." "Good choice." "Oh, and Lord Zach, those 5 ships? They're our patrol boats. Our actual warships. Well, pray you never see those." The transmission ended. The surviving 200 Zoran ships fled in panic. When they returned home, Lord Zach's first order was to close all borders. No Zoran ship would ever leave their space again. Back at the council, the footage played on repeat. 5 human patrol boats had destroyed 800 elite warships in 10 minutes using physics-defying weapons. Speaker Vex looked at his intelligence officer. "How many human ships exist?" The officer checked his datapad, then looked up with fear in his eyes. "Based on energy signatures we've detected, at least 10,000 military vessels." "But sir, there's something else." "What?" "We've detected similar signatures in 200 systems across the galaxy. The humans... They're everywhere. They've been everywhere. Watching. Waiting." The council realized the truth. Humanity hadn't just refused to join them. Humanity had already surrounded them. Ambassador Tom returned to the Galactic Council 1 month after the Zoran incident. This time he was expected. The representative sat in fearful silence as he walked to the center platform, carrying nothing but a simple briefcase. "Thank you for not attacking us again," Tom began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "I'm here to explain something important. You keep making the same mistake. You think humans are like you. We're not." He opened his briefcase and pulled out a small plant in a pot. "This is grass. Simple earth grass. Completely harmless, right?" The council watched nervously as Tom continued. "On Earth, this grass competes with thousands of other plants. It survives drought, flood, fire, ice, and being eaten constantly. It spreads everywhere, adapts to everything. It's so successful that it covers 30% of our planet. And compared to other Earth life, grass is weak." Tom set down the plant and pulled out a tablet showing images of Earth. "Our planet has gravity 30% higher than galactic standard. Our temperature swings by 50 degrees. Our weather includes hurricanes that could destroy your cities. Our oceans are filled with creatures that eat metal. Our lands have predators that hunt in packs using complex strategies." The images shifted to show early humans. This is what we evolved in. No claws, no armor, no natural weapons. Just two things: brains that see patterns and hands that make tools. We survived by being smarter than everything trying to kill us. Speaker Vex interrupted. But that doesn't explain your technology, doesn't it? Tom smiled. Every species here evolved as the dominant life form on peaceful worlds. You had millions of years to slowly develop. Humans? We had to innovate or die. Constantly. A disease kills millions. We invent medicine. Predators hunt us. We create weapons. Starvation threatens. We develop agriculture. War breaks out. We turn warfare into science. He showed more images human history, condensed. We went from stone tools to nuclear weapons in 12,000 years because we had to. We developed computers to break enemy codes. We created the internet to survive nuclear war. We reached space because we were racing each other. Competition drives us. Conflict improves us. Every challenge makes us stronger. The display showed human military academies. You fight wars with tradition and honor. We fight wars with mathematics and psychology. Your generals study tactics. Ours study game theory, economics, logistics, propaganda, and 30 other disciplines. War isn't just violence to us. It's the most complex puzzle we know. A Krull representative stood up. Then why haven't you conquered the galaxy? If you're so superior, Tom laughed. Superior? No, we're not superior. We're adapted to chaos. That's different. And conquest? Why would we want that? He pulled out the marble device again, this time showing human colonies. We have 300 hidden colonies across the galaxy. Full worlds, terraformed and populated, completely invisible to your sensors. We could have taken any planet we wanted. But conquest is expensive. Management is boring. And empire building? That's a game we played out thousands of years ago on Earth. We know how it ends. The marble showed something new: microscopic machines, smaller than atoms. This is our real advantage. Nanotechnology. These machines are in every human ship, every colony, every piece of equipment. They can build anything, repair anything, destroy anything. The gravity weapons, the energy absorption, all applications of programmable matter at the quantum level. Tom let that sink in, then continued. We could release these into your atmosphere. Within hours, every piece of technology on your planet would dissolve. Your weapons, your ships, your cities gone. We don't, because we're not monsters. We're neighbors who want to be left alone. A young council member, barely past hatching, raised a tentacle. Ambassador Tom, if humans are so powerful, why reveal this? Why not keep it secret? Tom's expression softened. Because secrets create fear, and fear leads to stupid decisions. Like attacking Earth. We're explaining ourselves so you understand humans don't want to rule you. We want to explore, to learn, to build. We're the kid in class who just wants to read in the corner, but will break your nose if you try to take our book. He packed up his briefcase. Earth children play strategy games more complex than your military simulations. Our teenagers build robots for fun that could defeat your soldiers. Our scientists create black holes to study them. This isn't bragging, it's a warning. We are very, very good at violence because we evolved surrounded by it. Don't make us prove it again. Tom headed for the door, then stopped. Oh, one more thing. We've been intercepting distress signals from your border worlds. Something about a plague that's killing millions? We developed a cure yesterday. It's in your medical databases now, free of charge. He left behind a stunned council and a simple truth. Humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy precisely because they chose not to be. Asterisk. 6 months had passed since humanity's true nature was revealed. The Galactic Council convened for an emergency session But this time, the atmosphere was different. Fear had transformed into something else: respect, curiosity, and for some, hope. Speaker Vex called the assembly to order. We gather today to vote on Motion 2847, permanent non-interference with humanity and recognition of their sovereign space. The vote was unanimous. Not a single representative opposed it. Motion passed, Vex announced, then paused. Now we address the requests. 17 species have petitioned for trade agreements with Earth. The first to speak was Elder Tam from the Altair Federation, a dying civilization whose star was failing. The humans sent us plans for stellar restoration technology. No payment. Asked. They said, "Neighbors help neighbors. Our star will burn for another 1 billion years." Next, the Cetian representative stood, her feathers rustling with emotion. The plague that threatened our existence? The human cure saved 12 billion lives. They asked for nothing except that we share it with others who might need it. One by one, stories emerged. Humans had quietly solved problems that had plagued species for millennia. Agricultural techniques that ended famines. Medical knowledge that cured genetic diseases. Energy solutions that cleaned polluted worlds. Commander Rex, the defeated Crawl. Officer stood slowly. His empire had fallen into civil war after their military humiliation. The humans, they offered to help evacuate our civilians from the war zones. They said they wouldn't let innocents suffer for their leaders' mistakes. They've saved 3 million Crawl children. The council fell silent. Then, for the first time in the session, a human figure appeared on the main screen. Admiral White, the same officer who had warned them months ago. "Counselors," she began, "we've been monitoring your situation. You're afraid of us, we understand. But fear shouldn't define our relationship." Ambassador Tom? Tom walked into the actual chamber again, this time accompanied by a young human woman. "This is Director Smith from our Cultural Exchange Program. We'd like to propose something different." Director Smith stepped forward, her voice warm and professional. "Instead of isolation, we offer selective exchange. Scientists, artists, philosophers, people who want to learn, not conquer. Small steps toward understanding." "Why?" Vex asked. "Why help us after we attacked you?" Tom smiled. "Because that's what humans do. We're chaos specialists, remember? The galaxy is heading toward chaos resource depletion, territorial wars, ecological collapse. You can't solve these problems with energy weapons and tradition, but we can help." He pulled out his marble device one last time, showing a galactic map. "These are the real threats. A supernova that will destroy 3 inhabited systems in 200 years. An asteroid field heading toward the Zoran Empire. A quantum instability that could unravel space itself near the Council's core worlds. You didn't even know about these because you're too busy fighting each other." The Council members gasped at each revelation. Tom continued, "Humans have been preparing solutions. We can share them. Not as conquerors or rulers, but as advisors. Take our help or don't, your choice. But the offer stands." A young representative from a minor species raised their hand. "What do you want in return?" "Stories," Director Smith said simply. "Art, music, recipes, your perspectives on existence. Humans are curious. We want to learn about you, your cultures, your dreams, your jokes. The galaxy has 200 species with millions of years of history. That's the real treasure." Over the following weeks, the transformation began. The Crawl Empire dissolved, replaced by smaller, peaceful states that requested human medical assistance. The Zorans opened their borders for the first time in decades, eager to learn human agricultural techniques. 17 species formed the Earth Trade Consortium, exchanging cultural artifacts for human technical knowledge. The balance of power hadn't just shifted, it had evaporated. The old order of military might and conquest was replaced by cooperation and exchange. Species that had been enemies for millennia found themselves working together on human-suggested projects. 3 years later, Speaker Vex stood before a transformed council, where once there had been fear and aggression, now there was collaboration. The Great Hall itself had been redesigned using human architectural concepts, more open, more inclusive, more efficient. A young council aide approached him. "Speaker, the humans have sent another gift. They call it the Internet, a way for all species to share information instantly across the galaxy." Vex nodded, then looked at the memorial plaque recently installed in the hall. It read, "In memory of those lost to foolish wars. In honor of humanity, who showed us that true strength is the choice not to destroy." Below it, in simple human text, was Earth's message to the galaxy. "We came in peace, we stay in peace, we leave in peace, but we're really good at the other thing, so please don't make us prove it again." The galaxy had learned its most important lesson: never attack humanity. Not because they couldn't be defeated, but because they were so much more valuable as friends. Epilogue: the Galactic Council's official records would later describe this period as the human revelation, the moment when a seemingly primitive species revealed themselves to be the galaxy's most advanced civilization, not through conquest, but through choice. Humanity's true victory wasn't in their weapons or technology. It was in showing the galaxy that evolution through conflict, and properly channeled, could lead to creation rather than destruction. They had mastered war so completely that they no longer needed it. And somewhere in a small blue planet's military archives, gathering dust, sat thousands of battle plans that would never be used. Humanity's gift to the galaxy was keeping them sealed forever. The galaxy was finally at peace, protected by the most dangerous guardians imaginable, humans who chose to be kind, asterisk,